Hello everyone, welcome and welcome back to my channel. We are here today to choose my February TBR. So this month I've decided to mix it up a little bit and we're actually not going to use the TBR jar. Don't worry, she's still here. We're just having a month off. I'm going to try and alternate this year between using the TBR jar and using other fun, cool ways to pick my TBR. So this month we are going to be using book bingo. So at the beginning of the year in my trusty reading journal, I made a bingo spread. Here it is. So we've got loads of different prompts. You can see the ones I've coloured in are the ones I've done. So I actually did a lot of them in January. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, we are going to basically use this as prompts. These are different prompts for the most part to what is in my TBR jar. So it's still a similar vibe of basically using a prompt and then I get to choose the final book. But these are different prompts. Some of them are quite a bit more difficult and kind of more out of my comfort zone, I suppose, than the ones that are in the jar. So the way that we're going to do it, because I've already completed some of them, I think what we're going to do is choose 5 books. For 3 of them, we will skip over the ones I've already filled in. So just for example, I'm going to use a random number generator. For example, if we got like 8, we would count 8, but skip over any that are already coloured in. So they wouldn't count in the 8, if that makes sense. We'll do that 3 times. And then for the final 2 rolls, we'll just do free reign. So I might end up repeating some prompts. We might end up getting all new ones. Who knows? I will quickly run through the prompts that are on this page because I know you can't see it very clearly when I'm just holding it up like this. We have got read a non-fiction, read a memoir, read a book over 1,000 pages, read a thriller, a 5-star prediction, a book that has a map, a 1-word title, a book that I bought last year, a book with found family, continue a series, my most recent purchase, read a book that's part of a trilogy, an intimidating read, read a book set in New York City. I am actually currently doing that one. So we will count that as done because by the time I finished my current read, that one will be done. A new to me author, a literary fiction, a dystopia, a book published in September, a book that has a number in the title, and a classic. We're also going to try in this video to choose some books from my Kindle TBR. We usually do this pretty much only with my physical TBR. However, I don't have that many books. My TBR cot is next to me, it's just out of frame. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 books on my physical TBR for the whole year. Obviously, I will buy some more books, but at the minute, I'm really trying not to buy many books. So we've only got 11. On my Kindle, not including Kindle Unlimited, not including the books on there that I want to read, just books that I own on my Kindle, I have 118. I also have a spread in here that showcases that. I had to add extra flaps because we've got all these books on my Kindle that I have not read. So we're really going to try this month and choose books that I own on my Kindle. A lot of them are like fun, new, hyped books. I just happen to have them on Kindle rather than physical copies. Some notable mentions that I would quite like to read at some point soon. We've got The Wolf King, Beartown, Hurricane Wars, Feybound, Blood Over Brighthaven, Assistant to the Villain. I've had that one for a while actually and not ended up reading it. We've got loads of books that I own on my Kindle and just have not got to, so we're really going to try and use these prompts to choose some Kindle reads. So as I alluded to earlier, the way that I'm going to do this, I actually had a fun dice to use and I've lost it. I have no idea what I've done with this dice. Hopefully I'll find it and we can use it in a future month, but for right now I have no idea where it is. So we're going to have to be a bit more boring and I'm just going to do a random number generator on my phone. I'm still going to do it 1 to 6 as if it was a dice. I don't want to do 1 to 20 and then just keep getting like, I don't know, 20 and having to go to the end. I feel like it'll mix things up a bit more if we do 1 to 6 and then we'll just obviously keep going around, if that makes sense. I feel like that gives us the best chance at getting prompts from different places on the bingo card. So without further ado, let's roll number 1. I just want to show you before I roll, it automatically already has number 5. It always does for some reason on the Google number generator. It always already has a number there. So ignore that. We're going to roll completely fresh for prompt number 1. Okay, let's generate our first number. Sorry that you can see the reflection. That's really annoying. Number 3. Did I click that twice or once? Anyway, I didn't. If I did it twice, I didn't see the first number. So number 3. Seriously. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I think I manifested this by accident because a few days ago when I knew I was going to film this video, I actually looked up books that were over 1,000 pages because it occurred to me, I thought in my head like, oh, of course I'll own books on my TBR or at least have books on my radar that are over 1,000 pages. No, none of the long books that I thought were over 1,000 pages were. So I've had to go away and research, and I did find one. Let me get it up on Libby. I don't own it on Kindle or physically, so I'm going to borrow it from the library. Let me see, I added it to like my little list so that I wouldn't forget what it was called. It is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke. This is a fantasy book that has, is it fantasy? I don't know if it's like proper fantasy. It has magicians in it, and it is set in the 1800s in England, so in the 19th century. That time period I do find very interesting, so that's a good start. I also love magicians. I've never read anything from this author before though, so this is definitely a bit nerve-wracking, a bit out of my comfort zone. Maybe we'll do a vlog where we read this and a couple of other books that are out of my comfort zone in February, because this is certainly that. Oh, it does, I'm just scrolling down and it does say like fantasy for the genre, science fiction too. Okay, interesting. We will see. It has great reviews from what I have seen. I don't think I've seen anyone that I watch on BookTube read this book, but from what I researched online, people tend to like it. I have heard of Susanna Clarke, I've just never read anything by her. So book number 1 on the February TBR is Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell by Susanna Clarke, which is a book over 1,000 pages. Okay, roll number 2, and obviously we're going to start from over 1,000 pages and just keep counting round. So number 6, so let's count 6 from there, but again I'm going to skip over the ones that are coloured in for now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a sick joke. This was a stupid video idea. We have landed on an intimidating read. How beautiful. How wonderful. So we've got a book over 1,000 pages and an intimidating read. Isn't that just lovely? Let's flick to our Kindle TBR spread and I'm just going to have a scan through here and see which books on here I think I might find intimidating. We've definitely got some options. Blood Over Brighthaven I find intimidating because it's not 100% my usual taste. I think, does it have like vampires and that kind of vibe? That's not my usual taste in books, so that is an option. Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez is intimidating because apparently it's really, really sad. Same with Beartown. I would go for either of those, but what's putting me off going for a sad book is that this is, like, I'm not going to talk about this too much, I don't want to upset anyone, but my granddad's funeral is in February. Do I want to then be putting like sad books on my TBR? I'm kind of tempted to go with a classic. I find classics quite intimidating anyway. I can't choose a Jane Austen because I've read 2 Jane Austen books now and love them. I don't find them intimidating anymore, so I don't feel like I can choose a Jane Austen classic. But I think I might go for maybe a Charles Dickens because I love A Christmas Carol. I've not loved anything else that I've tried to read by him. So maybe that could be a good idea. I actually do have one physically. I actually have Great Expectations. Maybe we should go with that. I'm pretty sure I do have it on Kindle as well. I have a lot of classics on my Kindle. They offered them all for free a few years ago, so I probably do have a copy of this on my Kindle. So we'll be ticking off that anyway. But I think we're going to go with Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. As you might see, there is a bookmark in here. I tried to read this and got to page 20 and I just wasn't enjoying it. However, now that I've read a few more classics since trying to read this, I feel like maybe it's time to give it another go because I love the idea of this. I just didn't love the execution. But, and I think maybe this time, because last time I tried to read it physically, maybe doing a bit of a mix, like physical, Kindle, audio, because my library has a lot of audiobooks for classics, so I think maybe doing a mixture might be the way to go with this. So book number 2 on the February TBR is Great Expectations by Charles Dickens, and that is for an intimidating read. Okay, next number 5, and again I'm going to count from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have landed on Read a Memoir. Again, obviously I've skipped over the coloured in ones, but for the last 2 prompts after this we're just going to count normally, but skipping the ones that I've already done for now, we have landed on Read a Memoir. I don't think oh no, I do. I have a memoir on Kindle. I'm sure it's a memoir by Jessica Simpson. I don't know anything about Jessica Simpson. I obviously have heard of her, but I feel like, I don't know if I'm the wrong age or if it's because I'm British, not American, that I never really like saw or heard kind of any hype, or I don't really know much about her. She's an actress, I think, isn't she? Maybe I'm wrong. She's very famous. And I do actually have, I'm sure it's her memoir on my Kindle. I'll pop a picture of the cover obviously up here. I can't remember what it's called. Like, there are so many books written out here. I honestly don't even think I can find it. But anyway, here we go. Jessica Simpson's book. It's something about movie star in the title, I'm sure. And that is book number 3 on our February TBR. So far this is very out of my comfort zone. We've got an over 1,000-page book by an author I've never read from. And I'm assuming like a subgenre of fantasy that isn't my usual taste. We've got a Charles Dickens classic. And now we've got a memoir of someone that I actually don't know anything about. Maybe I should have not done this video. But maybe these will all be new favourites. Let's stay positive. Okay, for the last 2 prompts, as I said, we're just going to throw them all back in the mix, whether I have done them before or not. The reason I did it, by the way, like the way that I have, is because obviously by the end of the year, I do want to have crossed all of these off, so it makes sense to me to focus on the ones that I haven't already fulfilled. But we've got 3 new ones, so let's throw them all back in the mix. So, our next number 3. So where did I just start from? Read a memoir. So 1, 2, 3, a 5-star prediction. Okay, that is more like it. I don't think I have any completely solid 5-star predictions on my physical TBR. There are definitely books on there that I think I love, like Fake Skating by Lynn Painter has the potential, but if I was going to make a list of 5-star predictions, I wouldn't put it on there. I'd put that on like a 4.5 star prediction list. But I don't think right off the bat I would say that's going to be a 5-star. So let's have a look at the books I've got on Kindle. There are definitely some 5-star predictions on here. The ones I'm kind of considering are The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. The Night Circus was a 5-star read. The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden. I've never read anything by her, but it very much sounds like the kind, it's not the kind of fantasy I read the most of, but it's the kind of fantasy I tend to rate the most highly. I don't think that was a grammatically correct sentence. Obviously Beartown would be an option, because I'm really loving emotional books at the moment, but again, I'm not sure this is the month for that in particular. And what else have we got? I'm really trying not to start new series as well at the minute, by the way. I'm really trying to focus on finishing series before I start anymore. So maybe let's choose between those 2 that I just mentioned. I'm just quickly scanning to check if there's any others. There's so many books on here that I'm really excited about. I think in terms of not starting a new series and choosing a 5-star prediction, I think I'm going to go with The Starless Sea. Just because I've had a 5-star read from the author, so that like makes sense in my head. So book number 4 on the February TBR is The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is like it's not a cozy fantasy, I don't think. It's just a slower paced fantasy, similar to The Night Circus. So yeah, that is book number 4 on our February TBR. And let's choose our final prompt. I'm going to up the numbers this time. Let me count how many are left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, there's 15 squares after the one we just landed on, so I'm going to do 1 to 15 just to make so that it could be any of them on the page. Obviously the 3 was already there. Generate. Number 13. Okay, so we're going back down near the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. A book published in September. Okay, I'm going to have to obviously go and investigate for this one. I don't know that off the top of my head. Okay, I have found one. Oh, the lighting's gone weird because I stopped recording. Has it gone back to normal? Is that the same as it was before? Sorry if not, we're nearly done for the video anyway. But I have found one on Kindle and it is Picking Daisies on Sundays by Liana Cincotte. I think that is how you pronounce her surname. Apologies if that is not correct. This was quite hyped a while ago, but I just never got around to reading it again because I own so many books on my Kindle. And this was published on the 30th of September 2025. I swear it was published before that. That can't be right. People were talking about this book before September 2025. Oh yeah, there's literally reviews on here from January of 2025. Okay, I didn't think I was going mad. So then does that count? Because I think the published date on here is wrong. Maybe it got like picked up for traditional publishing. Okay, I'm going to go and look again because I don't want to cheat. We'll keep that one in the back of my mind if I can't find any others, but I don't think that was the original publishing date. I have found another one. And we might as well just go for it because our TBR this month is absolutely just batshit anyway. So why not chuck another book on here that's out of my comfort zone? Babel by R.F. Kuang. I have read the first 2 books in the Poppy War trilogy and I loved the way that they were written. I DNF'd that series just because I didn't like where the plot was going. Just a complete personal preference thing. Not because I didn't think it was good, I thought it was incredible. Babel is still a fantasy, but I think a very different vibe from the Poppy War. This is set, is it in Oxford? Yeah, Oxford in 1836. Definitely an intimidating read, one that might take me a little while, so I should probably get cracking on it soon. But I have owned it now on Kindle for 2 years. I purchased it, it says here, January 2023. So actually 3 years. 3 years yesterday I have owned this book on Kindle. So I think it's about time that I at least give it a go. I hope that I will really like it. This is honestly, if you've never seen one of my videos before, you can kind of look at the books behind me and like assume what my usual taste is. Like Addicted, Taylor Jenkins Reid, Emily Henry, Boys of Tommen, some YA, like some Lynn Painter. All of these books pretty much are very out of my comfort zone, but I'm looking forward to it. Like obviously this is only 5 books. I do personally read more than 5 books in a month just because it's my main hobby. I don't really do much else other than read. So we do still have, like, I've got space to put some more, like, I don't know, just in my comfort zone palette cleanser type reads in between these to give myself the best chance of enjoying them. But I am excited. We've fulfilled some new bingo prompts. We're going out of our comfort zone, which was a goal for 2026. So I am happy with this TBR. Anyway, I will stop rabbiting on. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up down below if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!